we're leaving Silver City. Hopefully I've fixed the massive fuck ups that I've had on the previous videos where the colors got all washed out. I fell prey to the gambler's fallacy and ended up having to try to do a bunch of color corrections and look up tables and stuff. None of that worked, but I think I figured it out, so hopefully this video is a little bit better. I can't speak for the content because these two are here and they're unreliable. But let's see, we're on our way to Doc Campbell's post in the first part of the Hila, which is really exciting. This roadwalk's not as bad as the other one though. Much better. Yeah. We're discussing how long we think it is until there's a massive norovirus outbreak because we've had a ton of people sharing spoons and shit, questioning whether Purell works or any hand sanitizer for that matter works at all. We think we've got about 2 weeks until half of everybody we know has diarrhea. But who knows? Here it is. More than starting the trail, I think we've been anticipating going into this exact area for about a year. It's supposed to be something special. The forest is getting nicer here. And before we leave the Silver City area, I forgot to mention something that happened. As soon as I walked into a coffee shop there, around a bunch of people, the barista looked me up and down and said, "Please don't steal my toilet paper." Which is a really common thing that thru hikers will do because they don't want to pay for toilet paper. I'm not stealing anybody's toilet paper, but the problem with that is that, you know, all these other people in the coffee shop don't know what the deal is. They don't know why he's saying that to me. It just appears as though I'm some regular who steals this man's toilet paper on a regular basis. And now I had to order a coffee and sit around all these people giving me fucking side eyes as if I'm some sort of weird fetishist or something. Otherwise, the Tranquil Buzz in Silver City is a nice coffee shop.
If you put your nose into the grooves in the bark, and it smells like exactly like butterscotch. It's amazing.
One of the nicest things about doing some of these backcountry hikes is that since we don't have internet service, Clovers can feel free to just make bullshit up about tree identification, and there's no way we can check them on it.
I could tell you whatever. You would have to believe me.
Yeah, you got to scratch this tree and turn upside down.
It's like a licking stick. Yeah.
If you pay attention very closely, you can also see that Liano has one of these small devices we were given at Trail Days. Supposedly, it's a climate sensor. We all know, however, that the CIA set up this front company to be able to track extremists throughout the forest. Liano, being a good boy, was easily duped. He's gonna carry this thing the entire way. And I keep calling him Liano. I should be calling him Zoolander. Not because of the trail name culture or anything, but because if he's really trying to keep his identity low, I'm kind of blowing it for him. So it's Zoolander from now on. It's hard to stick to. Welcome back to the Appalachian Trail. We're 75 hikers congregate in one spot. This has never happened on this trail before, I bet. This situation is dire. It's like a moral panic has spread through the camp. This is totally unheard of for anything on the Continental Divide Trail, but based on the fact that every single person who was at Trail Days left at the exact same time, there's like 30 people around us, and everybody's going to the same place to get water after, 18 miles from town, and they're probably going to camp immediately after. And I have a feeling that this trend is going to continue through the entire Hila Wilderness because there's very obvious points to stop.
The places you have to be.
Yeah, this is very bizarre for this trail.
Yeah, there's going to be like basically a fire festival going on at Doc Campbell's in a couple days.
Honestly, there's a really weird social thing happening too, where we were all breaking there, and the second somebody started putting socks on, it was like a deer. It spooked the rest of the herd, and everybody immediately started getting up and moving like they don't want to get caught behind everybody else. It's very weird. Our first taste of water in the Hila here. Not much. Probably would be a lot more in these side creeks in wetter years, but it's the beginning of something.
Natural water source. That was the first natural water source that we passed on trail, and both of us didn't collect any water. Yeah.
Raven's been stalking us. Gorgeous. We haven't talked about food or anything because usually we walk into camp at about 9 p.m., but we're kind of waiting on the others right now, so we've got time. I'm making some gourmet shit here. I've got some orzo pasta with freeze-dried sausage and marinara sauce that's melting inside it. It's gonna be pretty good. I'm sure. I'm letting it steep for a while. Clover over here has probably boiled horse manure because that's about the quality of food he eats on a general basis.
It's not far from the truth, actually. I have a cilantro lime north side, which I then put Goya Saison MSG packet. Well, it has MSG in it. That's to trick my brain into eating this slop. And then to top it off, I'm gonna put up Kettle brand crinkle cut truffle oil and sea salt.
Frankly, none of that is as bad as I thought it could have been. But such is life in the Hila, everything's better here. We have like 15 people camped here in the woods in various spots. It's pretty flat in this saddle. We'll be going down to the bottom of this river canyon pretty soon, and then we'll have our first taste of the Hila. We've made it to the Hila River, and just as expected, immediately route finding. We don't know where there's a trail, but I guess we're staying on this shore for a while. Clover's over there upriver, trying to bushwhack around back to us. Overall, pretty beautiful spot though. The promise of water has invigorated the general populace of the caliphate here. We're at the Hila River.
We will fight to defend it with our lives.
This section of the trail winds along the Hila River for about 100 miles. There's a high route and a low route, which we can kind of alternate between, but more or less we're expected to cross the river hundreds of times. There are hot springs along the side too. In about a day and a half, we're probably going to hit Campbell's Post, which is a kind of integral resupply place. But after that, it's another 90 miles on the river like this. It's pretty unique as far as the Triple Crown trails go. I'm not sure if there's another section on any one of them like it. So it's pretty exciting to be here. It's very difficult navigating this section of trail too. It's going to take us a very long time. We're going to be moving a lot slower than we have on the rest of the trail. It's either all this undergrowth is shredding our legs, or you're in the river getting wet and mud and dirt in your shoes. Not really much in between. Case in point. So now we just got to climb the embankment opposite us, I assume, because there's no trail otherwise. Nice thing is, the cool water makes my scratches all over my legs feel a little bit better for a brief moment.
It's kind of nice, but it attracts the leeches.
Yeah, there's leeches too. Did we forget to mention that? I found a few of them on myself already. This is the first night camping on the Gila, and I'm too lazy to stand up to take this video, but I've got my food being made down here, soaking. Got 2 other people camping right over there. We're a little off the river, which should be good. Keep us from getting too much condensation, but it's been really pretty down here.
I'm making Gila gumbo.
Good for you.
What a fucking mess my bag is today. Terrible. Terrible. So, we're at the first water crossing of the day from camp, which was about 200 yards that away. And Fresh takes one baby step with his little baby toe in the water and goes, "Ooh, you know what? You go ahead. I'll get you on video." So now I have to be the pussy.
The water is freezing. For what it's worth.
Very, very cold.
The hills are alive. Oh, it's much shallower over. But yeah, there we go.
Elk shedding. It's kind of old. So we're finally like past 200 miles in or so, I guess, depending on how you look at it, because we're on the Gila River alt, but it's cold this morning. It's the first time I've actually felt cold in the morning, and half the reason is probably because we keep trudging about waist deep in the river, which is all snow melt. But what a completely different environment this is to anything else we've seen on trail. This is not like the desert anymore, that's for sure. We're gonna be hitting some hot springs, or warm springs at least, in a little bit, and then hopefully get to Doc Campbell's post to secure a camp spot, which is one of the few places in the Gila you need to do that. But there's about, as we've mentioned, 30 people behind us, so at their expense, I will camp. So we must go fast. Wow.
Jak siemy.
We came from that way. We're trying our best not to fall off this cliff into 3-foot deep water. We got to continue up canyon that way.
Quick update. I got a leech on my dick while crossing the water. See you later, virgins.
We've got our first hot spring of the whole trail. It's kind of a wild hot spring. Just kind of trickles out of the rocks of this cliff. Kind of feeds into the river over here. Haven't even touched it yet. I don't know how warm it is. I guess we should probably try and see before we boil our skin off. Oh no, that's nice. Both Clover and I have been holding in a number 2 since basically when we left Silver City, and we're pretty much, 3 miles from Doc Campbell's that has pit toilets and stuff, so we've been kind of trying to hold it off, but this warm water hit us like a fucking freight train.
It's just so warm and inviting, you know?
Back on the road. Almost to Doc Campbell's, another mile to walk or so.